to give you a timeline of several acts that were enacted throughout the years. In 1974, the Forest and Rangeland Renewable Resources Planning Act was amended. It gave the authority to conduct research activities, some of which are related to invasive species. Also in 1974, the Federal Noxious Weed Act was made to establish a management program for control of undesirable plants that are classified as noxious, harmful, injurious, or poisonous. It also requires federal land management agencies to enter into cooperative agreements to coordinate the management of undesirable plant species on federal lands. Next, in 1978, the Public Rangeland Improvement Act was created for funding for rangeland rehabilitation and range improvements on public rangeland, which includes activities designed to control or manage invasive species. Also in 1978, the Cooperative Forestry Assistance Act was created to manage invasive species on other federal lands, which means assisting other federal, state, and private entities in managing their invasive species. It authorizes them to conduct activities that include surveying insect and disease control, determining biological, chemical, and mechanical measures necessary to prevent and control potential threatening or emergency insect infestations and disease conditions affecting trees. It also allows them to provide technical assistance to maintain healthy forests. It includes financial assistance to maintain a healthy ecosystem and prevent invasive species on privately non-industrial forest lands. In 1990, the International Forestry Cooperation Act was created to support forestry and related natural resource activities outside the United States and its territories or possessions, and to provide assistance for the prevention and control of insects, diseases, and other damaging agents. Under these authorities, the USDA can deliver invasive species research and development products for vegetation management and protection. It also provides the ability to conduct prevention, rapid response, control, and management activities related to invasive species and restore areas affected by them. Next, also in 1990, the Plant Protection Act authorized emergency actions to address incursions of noxious weeds. Another act in 1990 includes the Non-Indigenous Aquatic Nuisance Prevention and Control Act, which was amended later in 2000, but is the act under which the USFWS branch of invasive species manages the Aquatic Nuisance Species Task Force and its program. Another act created in 1990 was called the Lacey Act. It was made to conduct its activities pertaining to listing an organism as injurious wildlife. In 1992, the Alien Species Prevention and Enforcement Act made it illegal to ship plants or animals that are covered under the Lacey Act or Plant Prevention Act through U.S. mail. In 1999, the Executive Order 13112, which I talked about earlier, was signed by President Clinton to create a council of departments to deal with invasive species prevention. Then, in 2003, the Nutria Eradication and Control Act authorizes the Secretary of the Interior to provide financial assistance to the state of Maryland and the state of Louisiana for a program to implement measures to eradicate or control nutria and restore marshland damaged by nutria. Nutria is a small beaver-like invasive species animal. Most recently, in 2004, the Brown Tree Snake Control and Eradication Act was made to provide for the control of the brown tree snake on the island of Guam and the prevention of the introduction of the brown tree snake to other areas of the United States. That about wraps up all the information on invasive species laws, policies, regulations, and acts. So now let's move on to Natalie.